What you're about to hear is either the greatest technological revolution of our time or the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. A system where people were promised easy riches, where celebrities flaunted their insane profits, where millions rushed in believing they were part of something revolutionary, only to wake up and realize they had been played. Crypto, NFTs, Web3. It wasn't just a passing trend, it took over everything. From internet memes selling for millions of dollars to celebrities and tech moguls pushing their own digital assets. It all came with the same message. Something big is happening, and there's a lot of money to be made. And people believed it. A digital artist named Beeple sells a JPEG for $69 million. Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter, sells a screenshot of his first tweet for $2.9 million. Memes like Nyan Cat, Doge, and Charlie Bit My Finger, once shared for free, suddenly turned into million-dollar collectibles. The world had lost its mind. People weren't just talking about art or memes. They were saying this technology would change everything: real estate, healthcare, even social media. But something felt off. There was a pattern. Every few years, a new financial craze takes over. Stocks, dot-coms, housing. Each time, investors flood in, convinced this time will be different. And then, just like that, it all collapses. This time, it was crypto. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to 2008, when the world was in financial freefall. The housing market had crashed. Banks were collapsing. People were losing everything. And in the middle of all this chaos, a mysterious figure named Satoshi Nakamoto introduced something called Bitcoin, a new kind of money that didn't rely on banks or governments. For many, this was the answer. A way to escape corrupt financial systems, a currency that belonged to the people, not the elites. But that's not what happened. Bitcoin wasn't being used like money. It became an investment, something people hoarded, hoping its value would rise. The more people bought in, the higher the price went. And the higher it went, the more people wanted in. It was no longer a currency. It was a speculative asset. And just like every other speculative asset, it needed new money to keep going. But Bitcoin was just the beginning. As its value skyrocketed, a gold rush exploded. Thousands of new cryptocurrencies popped up overnight. A new type of unregulated stock market was born, and a feeding frenzy began. This is where the real scams started. Companies no longer needed investors. They didn't need business plans. All they had to do was create a token, slap together a white paper filled with buzzwords, and promise that their coin would change the world. People poured billions of dollars into projects with names like Dogecoin, Taco Coin, and even Ponzi Coin. Yes, that was real. It didn't matter what they did. It only mattered that people believed in them long enough to pump the price up. Influencers and celebrities jumped in. Floyd Mayweather, DJ Khaled, Lindsay Lohan, suddenly all of them were pushing crypto projects. And for good reason. They were getting paid to do it. Most of these coins were scams, pump and dumps, Ponzi schemes dressed up as technology. But that didn't stop the hype. Then came NFTs. If the crypto boom seemed ridiculous, this was another level. A simple digital image, a JPEG anyone could right-click and download, was now selling for millions of dollars. It was the perfect scam. NFTs didn't actually give you ownership of anything. You weren't buying the image, you were buying a link to an image. A link that could break, a website that could shut down, a transaction that could disappear overnight. But none of that mattered. Celebrities changed their Twitter profile pictures to NFTs. Major companies rushed in. Headlines screamed that NFTs were the future of art, music, and gaming. And the prices? They went insane. People paid hundreds of thousands for pixelated apes. Entire collections of cartoon animals were being traded like stocks. And the message was always the same: get in now or get left behind. But then, just like every bubble before it, it popped. NFTs crashed, prices plummeted, investors lost billions, and suddenly all those celebrities, silent. It was never about decentralization. It was never about revolutionizing technology. It was about one thing: making money. And when the money stopped flowing, the entire game fell apart. By 2021, the hype was fading. And that's when a new word magically appeared: Web3. They said this was the next big thing. A new version of the internet. one where users, not corporations, had control. But take a closer look. The biggest investors in Web3? The same venture capital firms that controlled Web2, the same tech billionaires who already owned everything. It was just another repackaging, another excuse to convince people to buy into crypto all over again. And the worst part? It worked. Billions were poured into new Web3 projects. Tokens were launched. More people were pulled in, convinced that this was the next big thing. But underneath it all, nothing had changed. It was still the same game. Crypto, NFTs, Web3. They weren't revolutions. They were money machines designed to funnel cash from regular people into the pockets of big investors. For every millionaire that made it in crypto, there were thousands who lost everything. The ones who bought in late. The ones who believed the hype. The ones who trusted the system. But that's how these schemes always work. A small group at the top wins. Everyone else gets left holding the bag. And the only question that remains? At what point does the ticking time bomb finally explode?